sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Making sense out of the senseless is my job. And it gets harder every day. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. And if you want to support the show, it's very easy. Go to Go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store. You can also support SHR Media through the same store. Now that I've gone and screwed up the opening. It's one of those mornings, afternoons so far. See something. All right. Looking through some stuff real quick. Got to check something out real quick. All right. There we go. So, well, of course, Trump won both West Virginia and Nebraska. So that pretty much ends hearing Ted Cruz. And for those that don't know, Ted Cruz was on Glenn Beck either yesterday or the night before. And whether he's just trying to stir shit up or what, he had talked about that basically if he won Nebraska, that would be giving him a path back to victory, and he would think about getting back into the race. Like I said, it could have been just something to stir the media up. I wouldn't doubt it with some of these politicians just saying things to get... Ooh, dang it. Just get the media stirred up. Of course, he ended up not winning it. And Trump is almost there at the 1237 mark. Look at the numbers up real quick. He's at 1,135. So he needs 102 delegates, which is not going to be that hard. It really won't be. So he's on his way there. Probably, let's see what's coming up next. Taking a look at the upcoming. Yeah, but thought he might be able to take it before the end of the month, but he's just going to come up shy by about roughly 40 votes, which he'll pick up June 7th. So he's pretty much unless something miraculous happens where every vote goes against him, he is now our nominee. And really, I'm getting tired of the all this BS in the background. Should we back him? Should we not? He's the nominee. I've had to hold my nose on several elections and vote for someone that I did not think was the man or who deserved my vote, but voting for Obama was not an option. So everybody expects us to hold our nose that we've done for the last several years. But now it's their turn, and they run and hide like little girls and make excuses and throw tantrums. And yes, I know, I'm not throwing a tantrum. Well, a kid also says that they're not throwing a tantrum. You know, a kid never acknowledges the tantrums that he is throwing. And that's basically what these people are doing, is just throwing a huge temper tantrum. And it's getting tiresome. It really is. There was actually a pretty good article on Breitbart News on reasons why you should vote. Surprisingly, Dana Loesch, whatever the hell her name is, surprisingly, she's still out bashing Trump. That's real surprising to me. I would have never thought that she had no honor. Yeah, her and Bill Kristol making excuses. It's really getting tiresome. It really is. Listen, if you're not going to be part of the solution, just get the hell out of the way. I'm tired of people just sitting there bitch to bitch and making more problems. We're trying to straighten this country out, and sorry, your candidate did not look like he could fix a goddamn 7-Eleven, let alone a country. Great Lakes go from climate change-induced low water levels to record highs in 3 years. Surprisingly. Trying to see if that... Here it is. I didn't tag this article, so it's given me a little trouble to find it. Gonna throw it in here real quick. For some reason, some of these sites really eat up the computer resources. So my apologies if my system's going a little nuts. Here we go, shut that down. Come on. Come on. It's going there. It's just taking a minute or two. Sorry about this. I'm throwing in a last-minute article because I actually think it means something. And good morning, Cal. Throwing in a last-minute article and it's got me a little computer bogged down. Running all the programs that I have to run and all that, it's actually pretty taxing on my system. And it was funny on this there was a section underneath for comments. Hey, hold on 1 second. All right, you there, Crash?
I'm here.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
Pretty good. Trying to still wake up, and I'm throwing in a last-minute article, and it's got my system taxed. There we go.
Got it hacked?
Taxed. It's really... The website I was on was raising hell with my computer. Using up the resources. So, surprisingly, Trump had 2 wins yesterday.
Had 2 what?
2 wins. West Virginia and Nebraska had their primaries last night.
Are we live on the air?
Yes, we're live on the air. You asked to go live on the air.
Oh.
You nincompoop.
Well, yeah, no, you're just when you're talking. I'm just like, okay, who the hell are you talking to?
You.
What is this? This isn't normal Jersey Joe. There's no obnoxiousness. There's no.
I'm still waking up.
Still waking up. Oh, caffeinate yourself. God damn it.
I got some caffeine. I'm getting it in me. I got to learn how to mainline this shit.
I think we figured that out at the station years ago.
Shh.
And it burned the hell out of. Well, let's just leave it at that.
No, that was when I tried snorting the Stacker 2.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Yeah.
That was funny as hell. That was
The stupid
funny.
shit we would do back then to entertain each other. All right.
All right, so what do you got going on? Or do you want me to jump in with the shenanigans in lovely New Jersey?
But it sounds like you got something to add in there from lovely New Jersey. Go ahead.
It's not so much. It's just, I find it comical. I just really, really find it comical. I show up, to one of my jobs today, and all this hoopla and everything. Because guess what? Madam Clinton is coming to speak. So that just disrupts my entire day. Whatever, so I'm dealing with all that BS, which means I'm going to be late for my next thing. But, okay, stuff happens. Evidently, she's popular. Okay, fine. Well, the thing that I got the really big kick out of is, and evidently it's been a trend, Obama is going to be speaking at the commencement ceremony Friday for Rutgers.
Ooh.
So,
Yay.
Obviously, that's going to be a big thing. I mean, they're raffling off tickets. There's a whole big what to do about it, which, security is going to be outrageous. Traffic is going to be horrendous. There's going to be crap loads of media there. Honestly, you know what kind of chuffs my backside about this?
Okay.
What's the focus supposed to be on that day?
The kids.
The graduates. The people that succeeded. The people that got the education, that are going on to better things, that have made this achievement. That's who we're supposed to be recognizing that day. Instead, it's being turned into a political circus, with all the recognition going to an outgoing president. I'm sorry. If I was graduating, I wouldn't even attend. I would skip my own graduation.
Well, you also have to remember, this is a college that gave an award to a woman that smeared red paint all over her face and walls of the school, simulating the blood of the women and the war on women and so forth. Rutgers gave gave that student an award for defacing the school.
Are you serious?
I'm dead
I didn't
serious.
hear about that one.
That and Obama he did a commencement speech, I forget what state. And instead of talking about how great, being graduating from college with a degree, he talked about how blacks are still being punished and put in jail, and it's only lucky that blacks have succeeded. It's pure luck, not because of their hard work.
Wow, because that's not putting down his own race or anything.
Yeah, I know.
He essentially is just, at that one point, he is stating point blank that it doesn't matter how good you are, how hard you try, you're only going to succeed by luck. That is complete horse crap. I know plenty proud African men and women, and you know how they succeed? It's not by luck. It's by being the goddamn best at what they do.
Yep.
And you know what? That's how it should be. Best man or woman for the job.
All I got to say is thank God the son of a bitch is on his way out. And if you notice, now that he doesn't give a shit, he's really trying to stir the pot of racism.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely obvious. That just goes without saying. Oh, there's something else that was.
Well, New Jersey, I heard there was new rules set down for reasons for concealed carry. They made it a little bit easier for people to get a concealed carry, and now the Senate is overriding those new rules and making it even harder now to get a concealed carry in New Jersey.
Yeah, they keep going back and forth. Honestly, I haven't even messed with it because I knew it would never hold. New Jersey is so anti-gun,
Oh,
it is
hell yeah.
absolutely insane. It's insane.
That's why I knew Chris Christie was never going to make it as a president. The son of a bitch is so against guns, it's not funny. And I'll agree. I'm a Trump supporter, but I would be bitching also if I was in New Jersey right now because your governor hasn't been around for, a year and a half now, 2 years? And he's getting a paycheck?
Well, and now, all indications are now, one way or another, in November, if Trump wins the presidency of the United States, one way or another, come November, Governor Christie will be out of office, and Lieutenant Governor Padano will become governor of the state of New Jersey. For only 1 year, but...
Is he stepping down or being removed?
Stepping down. Because from what I heard, he's on the short list. It's like 5 or 6 people for VP candidacy. And he's on that list. But evidently, he's already been tapped to head up the transitional team if Trump wins. So if Trump wins, even if Christie is not the VP, Christie will be heading up the transition team to bring in the new presidential office, the cabinet. Transitioning those guys in and transitioning Obama's guys out. So one way or another, if Trump wins, Christie's not going to be the governor at the end of this year, unless he turns down both those positions, which I don't see him doing. I mean,
would you blame the guy for not turning down those positions?
What, could I blame him for turning him down or taking one?
No, would you blame him for not turning him down, for taking?
No.
I mean, you can't blame the guy.
No,
I mean, that is an advancement in his career.
Promotion.
But, I mean, he should already step down.
No, I wouldn't hold it against him. I mean, it's the same thing with him campaigning and stuff. You're looking to up your career. You're looking to take the next step. I have no problem with that. But you can't do that at the expense of your current position.
Me and my father were actually talking about that last night, and any politician that currently holds a position should be forced to resign his position if he's going to go campaigning for president, because it is not right that we had those senators who haven't been there in 9 months. I mean, Ted Cruz went to his office in Washington, D.C. for the first time in 9 months. And it's not, I'm trying to attack Cruz. It happens with all of them.
No, it's just, the fact of the matter is, the simplest way that I put it is, if at my current job, I want to better my career, I want to move on, okay? If I'm going to go out and I'm going to go job interviewing for even 2 weeks straight, I have to either take vacation time or quit, or I'm going to be fired. Mm-hmm. I am not going to be paid to find another job. That's crap. And that's what politicians are essentially doing. They spend at minimum 1/4 of the time that they're getting a salary, that they're being paid by the citizens of the country. They spend about 25% of that time minimum in order to keep the same job.
Yeah.
But you're not doing your job while you're doing that. So why? Okay, you don't want to lose your job, fine, but you don't get the paycheck either. You don't get your $250,000 a year salary if you're not doing your job. Honestly, that's what pisses me off more than anything else about when they're not doing their job, they're getting paid. When they're doing their job, they get paid.
Yeah,
if I don't do my job, I don't get paid. I mean, you know what? This is something we should take a lesson from certain contractors, union workers. We should turn the Congress into piecework. You get paid by the job.
By the bills that you pass. Hey, hey, I got to interrupt you. It's going to be that time for a break. We'll be back in about 4 minutes. So, you know how the drill goes. It's evil, but I got to do it. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date at everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to subscribe to that live stream. If you want to support the show and SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store, pick yourself up some T-shirts. All right, so where were we, Crash? Where were we?
I think we were just still talking about politics and how stupid all this stuff is.
You can say that again. It's
well, we were talking about politics and how stupid all this stuff is. Set it up.
So I was going to get into an article. So the 5 reasons why Ted Cruz fans should support Donald Trump. And the person that wrote this is a Ted Cruz supporter. He goes on that he has even sat down and been able to interview Ted Cruz, had dinner with Ted Cruz, and, pretty much followed along and was a major supporter. But he understands that right now that the people have picked Trump. Brain fart right there. Oh, my God. But they have picked him, and it's time to go on. And for years now, we've had candidates that a lot of people did not want, but they held their nose. They did. There's Ford, Dole, McCain, Romney. And yet these people now all of a sudden are all up in arms that they don't want to support Trump, that all these excuses. But as this writer said, one thing, Hillary, right there, you vote for Trump. We do not want Hillary in. We do not want the butcher Benghazi in. She will finish off Obama's work on ending the Constitution, period.
They keep trying to whittle away at it slowly and slowly. I mean, honestly, I think the biggest mistake that they've made with regards to what a lot of people refer to as, like, their plan or master plan or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Whoa.
And they've been slowly indoctrinating over generations now. I mean, going back, 70s, 80s, it's not farther. The police state, changing the status quo. Now, it's never really been changed in law, but it's how everything's interpreted. You throw a frog in cool water, bring it to slow boil, it dies.
Yep.
Frog in the boiling hot water, it hops the hell out. Well, they sped up this whole process. People started noticing all of a sudden. And then it started clicking that, holy crap, this has been going on for a while. Why the hell didn't we notice? Well, because it was a slow process.
I use that analogy all the time.
I love that analogy. It's a great analogy.
I would say all this pretty much started back in the 60s with the radicals and the peace and love child. They all realized, and Bill Ayers had, not Bill Ayers, Sal Alinsky told him, basically that they had to either, basically they were going to have to attack it from the inside. Attacking it from the outside is not going to work. He used a lot of different other ways to explain it, but it basically was, and some for reason we just lost down for a second, but it is back. When, I'm trying to think how to explain. He knew that attacking it from the outside was not going to be successful, that basically they had to become part of the system and destroy it. And if you look at what we have in the Democrat Party, it is those that were trying to destroy the country during the 60s and 70s, the radicals and all that. I mean, they're now in charge.
Yeah, we brought that up before. The same people. Honestly, the biggest problem that I've seen is these politicians are getting in now. As a college student or a high school student, back then, we called them radicals. They did the protesting. They protested the war. They burned bras. They did all this stuff. Okay, fine. That was you were trying to change societal views. And now I'm not saying that's a wrong thing. Not saying that's a bad thing. I think a lot of good did come out of that. Now, the difference is those people back then were one voice among the many. And they were trying to change things through protest, through public opinion. Okay, fine. Now, those same people with those same points of views or those same ideologies are now running the government. And instead of listening to the protesters and all the people that are voicing their views, these people now in office have gotten their way, and they're saying, well, I don't agree with that, so I'm not going to do it. No, wait a second. That's not why you're there. You're not there to run the country the way you want to. You're there to be an advocate and a voice of the people and run the country the way the people want it.
Come on, you know better than
honestly,
that.
Well, yeah, honestly, I think the politicians have all lost sight of that. I think just about every single one of them has. There's something they don't like. I mean, what is it? The speakers? They're the biggest, probably some of the biggest examples of this. They don't agree with the bill. They don't put it before the floor. They refuse to put it for a vote.
Oh, yeah.
How is that their? I mean, how is that their right? They're literally censoring everything before anybody gets to see it.
We had that here in Florida, and it pisses me the hell off. We had open carry that was going through the process with major support, major citizen support, and it was it passed the House, it went to the Senate, passed the vote, and it had to go to through a committee, and the chairman of that committee, who's a Democrat, said, nope, we're not doing it, and it killed the bill right there. There should be a way that you can override that process when you have a politician who kills a bill like that. It's not right. It's not the American way. It's some jackass that doesn't like the bill, so he's going to kill it. That's not the American way.
The whole point behind our three branches of government is to ensure that no one part has full power.
Yeah.
That no one part can dictate that way. Now, yes, technically speaking, we have all three branches primarily or all have the majority of the same party. If all three are Democrat or all three are Republican, then yeah, I mean you kind of end up with everything leaning to one direction or the other. But for the most part, there's always a dissenting view. There's always one branch that's the other side, which is checks and balances. And honestly, that's the one thing that's driven me nuttier than anything else is we've got people in those houses in control that are refusing to put things for a vote. And then we've got a president who, oh, you're not going to vote on it? Oh, you're not going to vote the way I want it to be voted? Well, then, here's an executive order.
Yeah, that's...
Why? That's completely bypassing. I mean, they're reinterpreting the Constitution to suit their own needs. You know, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I love how they reword it and, since Congress isn't going to act, isn't going to do anything, I'll go ahead and act. No, they are just not allowing, because the citizens don't want those bills to go through, so they're not putting them through. They're not failing to act. They are acting on purpose, or not acting on purpose. Damn it, I can't think of a better way to put that.
Well, the thing, his way of Congress is not acting. Well, his definition of Congress isn't acting is Congress isn't giving him what he wants.
Yes.
He's acting like a freaking 5-year-old that's not getting his point.
Seems a lot of politicians are turning into 5-year-olds anymore. I mean, we got this whole, I'm not going to be president. I'm not going to back Trump. I just find it funny.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to go to the convention. I'm not going to chair the convention.
Well, you know what? I have been a George Bush 41 and 43 supporter. Were they perfect? No. Nobody's perfect. Do I like how George Bush handled 9/11? Yes. Could he have done some things better? Yes. But for the most part, I think he did a pretty good job as president. Okay? But the way things were handled back then can't be handled now. And we're not going to go to the convention. Oh, well. I really don't care. I'm sick of this, just because your side didn't win, you're going to throw a tantrum. If you want to act like that, fine, act like that. You don't go to the convention. But maybe it's a best if they don't, because that style of Republican governing, I think, is over. There is a new guard coming in, and a lot of the people are sick of the way that old way of doing things were.
I think I think that's the best way to put it. There's been a lot of exit polls, a lot of polling done that's also indicating that people they're registered Democrat. They've been big Democratic supporters, but they're not agreeing with what the Democrats are doing either. A lot of people are starting to see that voting along a party line is not necessarily the best way to go. Just because you primarily agree with one side doesn't mean that side is always going to be in the right.
Yeah.
You got to work at the full picture. I had an interesting conversation the other day with somebody who we were talking about the election coming up, and essentially it's going to be Trump versus Sanders or Clinton. Now, the indications are it's going to most likely be Clinton, at least it was then. Sanders he's doing some damage.
Oh, yeah.
He's definitely doing some damage to her. And, well, she's doing a lot to herself, too. But
she's getting damaged by him.
But the thing that came up, because New Jersey is actually, the votes in New Jersey are actually going to matter, possibly, to some extent. They're campaigning here now. Clinton's here this morning. Or this afternoon she'll be here. And a person who always a Clinton supporter, always was, okay? As much as I don't want to throw this individual underneath the bus, I think the chip card was played into it. But she turned around and said I don't know. I know I can't vote for Trump. There's no way I can vote for him. I don't like him. Okay, I don't agree with that type of statement, but okay. So you're voting for Clinton. Well, no, I don't know if I'm voting for Clinton, because I got to look to see where Sanders stands on some issues, too. Because obviously a lot of people really like what he has to say. I don't know anything about him. I need to learn some about him, because I'm starting to disagree with what a lot of Clinton is saying. So I don't know. Wow. You know what? Opened eyes. And honestly, to me, that's the best thing.
Yeah.
It's going beyond this is the name to this is, wow, I'm starting to see some of the truth, and I need to open my eyes. Now, I still didn't agree with the blatant disregard for Trump, but again,
one step at a time.
Well, the funny thing is, I asked why. Now, I did ask, why is it you don't agree? Why is it you will absolutely never vote for him? Well, I think he's an asshole. Okay, granted, at times I think he is too.
Well, I'm an asshole.
That doesn't mean that he's not good at what he does.
Yeah.
Well, he bankrupts companies if he can't fix them. He'll just bankrupt the country. Well, the country's already pretty much bankrupt, and that's not due to him. So that argument really doesn't hold a lot of water. Next, please.
Yeah, but hang on. Let's back that up real quick. So he makes these extravagant leaps of faith, buying these companies. He really pushes things to the edge, and he's failed a couple times. Two, those bankruptcy. Everybody thinks bankruptcy means all the debt goes bye-bye. No, it just means he gets he restructured the debt and repaid it at a different rate, but it does get repaid. And a lot of times it's allowed those companies to go on, where if he didn't bankrupt them, he would have had to close them down and everybody would have been out of work.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of misconception about that. And I'll be honest, before I really started researching a lot about how those laws work with the economy and everything, the way it's been over the past 10 years, I told you, when first time I heard Trump was running, I was like, yeah, right, he bankrupts everything. Was that not one of the first ones out of my mouth because I made an ignorant statement?
Yeah, I wasn't for him when he first came out.
But the more I educated myself, do I still agree with everything he's got to say? No. Do I think that he's a better candidate because he's not establishment a bureaucrat? Yes, I do. Do I think he's going to bring something new to the table, which this country desperately needs? Yes, I do.
the economy. He knows the economy better than any other candidate out there. He's actually created jobs.
Yeah, he actually has done that. Yeah. Now, here was the best part. This whole conversation, coup de grace for it was, he's an asshole. Don't like him. Okay, fine. Well, he's always cheating on his wives. He just cheats on everybody. I mean, how can you trust that?
How can you trust half the politicians then?
That's exactly what I said. So, okay, well, with that being said, we can't trust any politician. Well, yeah, but, he does, it's always so public with him. I was like, okay, well, with all due respect, we're throwing this guy underneath the bus for a nomination, all right, for his candidacy. We're throwing him underneath the bus because he flew around behind his wife's back. Now, I'm not saying I agree with the fact that he did that. I don't. I disagree with it. However, if that's what we're using as the measuring stick, then how is it that a sitting president of the United States had an affair, lied about it, was brought up on charges, lied about it, and then finally comes clean about it? But nobody went and attacked all of his politics and said, well, because he cheated, all of his ideas are crap. No, they didn't. What was one of the biggest stances from the Democrats at that time? That was a private decision. That was a personal decision. That has to do with his personal life, not his ability to run the country. Why is it we have a double standard when it comes to Trump? Why the double standard? Now, in all honesty, the one thing I pointed out after the end of that was what pissed me off with Clinton was not the fact that he got a blowjob from another woman other than his wife. That's not what pissed me off about him. It was the fact that he's the elected leader of our country. He preaches honesty, and he lied. Not only lied to the American people, but also lied under oath multiple times. And then when he finally couldn't uphold his lie anymore, he comes clean. I'm sorry, that discredited him a lot more than any blowjob.
All right, we got to take a break on that note of the blowjob, so... You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Play Pundit Radio. We'll be back to talk about Bill Clinton's escapades.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians.
You got a business. You didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying coffee is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch the broadcast, go to reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to subscribe to the live stream. If you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. And Kel, yes, he did throw something like that out there, but that was, 2 weeks ago? Or the day of the Indiana vote. So that happened a while ago. And I think it was... He wasn't accusing Cruz's father of trying to assassinate, but he just threw out there that, that there's a possibility that Cruz's father was in a picture with, who the hell was the guy that killed JFK? Crash?
I'm sorry, say that one more time. The guy that killed JFK?
Yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald was,
all right.
He was the suspect in that.
And there's supposed that Cruz's dad is in a picture with Lee Harvey Oswald. And that's all he said. And everybody else is the one going, oh, he accused him of trying to kill JFK. It got blown out of proportion. But I think it was just like one of those little verbal bombs that you throw just to... And it worked. It pissed Cruz off. He was, instead of talking about politics and what he was going to do, he spent the rest of the day going after Trump, all pissed off. He right, wrong, or indifferent, he threw Cruz off his game. You know?
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, that's honestly... People look at that as a crap-ass tactic, which, I'm kind of on the fence line about that one. Because at the end of the day, if you stand by yourself, if you're standing by what you do, it shouldn't matter what anybody else says or attempts to influence. If you're going to get thrown that quickly off your game, when it comes to just getting the support of one state in the country, what would happen if a foreign nation did the same thing while you're running the country? I know that's a very, very extreme.
No, but we got Putin who will, make comments. That man's not afraid to make comments and just to throw somebody off their game.
Let's see. How many jokes and mini, whatever the hell those things are, and statements have come out of Russia you know, it's okay, Obama. Putin's here to rescue you. You know, it's got Obama looking all weak, U.S. looking all weak, while Russia's all strong again.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Putin actually, he's come out, he's not really endorsed anything, but at the same time, other foreign countries have kind of gone after Trump a little bit, or they're kind of throwing their support against Trump. Not saying they support Cruz or any of the other Republican candidates, but saying that they don't support Trump. Putin, I don't think he wants to get in that fight. And I think he's seen that, you know what, there's a possibility here. Everybody
he has made
a possibility. I mean, what was it?
Putin has made comments about Putin has made comments about Trump and said that he would be a very strong leader.
Yeah.
And, you know, the other side, everybody's jumped all over. Look at that. You're getting support from Putin. Why? Because a strong leader is going, hey, he would make a strong leader. I get tired of that shit. And, yeah, we have the ex-president of Mexico giving us the finger.
Yeah, and now he wants to meet with Trump because he's realizing it. You know, I mean, everybody did this. There's that whole big blow-up about, Trump's, you know, he supports the KKK because a KKK member showed up to a Trump rally. No, that's not what that meant. And Trump's very clear that that's not his ideology.
Yeah.
But he can't control who supports him.
Do you hear anybody? Do you hear anybody jumping all over Hillary? Because there's
Black Lives Matter?
no, because the KKK came out and said we are endorsing Hillary. She has our values, but no one's blown that up in the media. No one talks about that.
No, I didn't hear about that one. I was going to do the comparison with the BLM.
No, she actually has KKK backing her. She also talks about how Senator Byrd was a mentor to her. He was a KKK member, he was a high-ranking member, and he was a recruiter for the KKK.
That's right. That was a segment that we did on the Southside Much Show. Well, actually, back then it was, Reaver After Dark?
Yeah, but it's bullshit. I mean, the Democrats had a senator. Yes, in 2005, he condemned his actions of years before, and he apologized for being a KKK member and recruiting people and burning crosses. And, you know, he did this during the 50s and 60s, so you know some nasty shit was done. But because he apologized, everything is forgiven.
Well, now the funny thing is, and here's the true irony, is when all that stuff, I mean, all that segregation and a lot of that, those hate crimes and everything, when a lot of that stuff was being perpetrated, when that was at its height, when it was at its formation and then at its height, it wasn't the Republicans that were involved in it. They were fighting against it.
I know. It was
primarily the Democrats. But everybody associated, they say, well, we switched sides. You know,
don't even.
Oh, come on. You know, that's complete BS. You know,
because, 5 senators switched over?
I mean, essentially, a very simple way to look at it, if you want to, you know, try to do these comparisons, which is damn near impossible anyway, which side of our current political structure, which side now is involved in the majority of the race baiting and the protesting and the current BLM stuff, and which political party is mostly involved in all that? And essentially, they're promoting segregation all over again. Well, we need to make sure that, you know, African Americans and Chinese and the immigrants and the Mexican immigrants and the illegal immigrants and women and this minority and that one, and we have to make sure that they've got all these protections and that they've got, you know, the ability to. You're separating the groups again. That's segregation. Yeah. That's the definition of segregation.
But they also sit there and they push this welfare system and saying that blacks can't do it by themselves. They need the help of the government. They need Uncle Sam to help them get into college. They can't do it on their own. They can't get a job on their own. They need the help of Uncle Sam to do it. To me, that's racist right there. There's no reason why they can't do it. There's a lot of them that do it. A lot of them work their ass off. And yes, do they have to work harder sometimes? Yes. Is it right? No. But you know what? That's how the fucking life goes. They have to go a little bit harder. But when they work that hard, they succeed. They don't need the government to do it.
But you know what? See, the thing is, everybody likes to point out this whole thing about, well, it's because they're in impoverished areas. The minorities, they're in impoverished areas. They don't have the same opportunities. They are what they're raised to be. Now, if their parents were lazy and lived off the government, what are the kids being taught to do? And then what's the next generation? Until somebody breaks that cycle, that continues.
Yep.
Okay? Now, I wasn't the first one in my family to go to college, but I was one of the first to graduate with a degree on one side of my family. Other people had tried it, but they only got so far. And I'm not faulting them for it. They were trying to improve themselves, and each time somebody went a step further. Nobody was ever happy with, okay, well, this is how far everybody else has gone, so this is as far as we can go. No, we're not happy with that. We want to do better for ourselves, and we want to do better for our kids. That's the mentality that drives people to get ahead. That's the mentality that creates jobs, keeps jobs, and that's the mentality that built this freaking country. Yet, we essentially have half a country now that just wants the handouts based off of what everybody else has fought to achieve. I mean, yeah, I'm a white guy. Okay, fine. You want to tell me to check my privilege? Kiss my butt. Because I fought to get where I'm at in my life. I am very proud of where I've gotten in my life. Do I have it easy? Hell no. I work somewhere, about 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. What does that come out to? How many hours a week is that?
I don't know.
And then I still have a home life. I still have a family. Oh yeah, that's the easy life for me.
It's they make excuses, and I know several gentlemen that I call them very good friends, and yes, they are black, and they are very successful. They work their ass off, and they've earned everything they got. I'm sick of all this, and constantly, and I don't understand how people can be so simply they're so simply just the Democrats go, they're racist, and everybody goes, oh, okay, the Republicans are racist. I don't understand it. Life is not that simple, and to claim that the whole party is racist, I see more of it in the Democrat Party. I mean, like you said, they're always the one bringing up race. They're always the one interjecting it. And then when they're in trouble and they're losing a political race, what do? Well, that one's a racist. Oh, we can't vote for him because we'll be labeled racist. You know what? I'm getting tired of it. You call me a racist, I laugh it off anymore because that means I'm winning the argument against the liberal. It really doesn't faze me anymore.
Well, you've got to say, if that's the comeback that you've got, if your whole argument is going to be based on an attack without merit, you've already lost. So what point is there to continue what the debate would be? It's not a debate at that point. It's throwing crap at each other.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, I don't have time for that. You want to debate something? You want to have a conversation? You want to have a discussion? I'll discuss anything you want. I may not agree with it. I may even get a little bit agitated about it. But I'll discuss it with you, and I'll keep it civil. You want to start calling me names and making accusations? At that point, I'm not going to speak to your level. I'm just going to walk away.
No, I keep going because I think it's funny at that point. I think it's funny. I've got you so off your game that you got to go that. Hey, let's keep going.
I mean, honestly, the biggest problem is, yeah, it is comical, and I would keep going at it. But my line is so much longer than yours of people that want to, debate with me because I piss off that many more people. I get the hate mail, remember? Not you.
Yes, all hate mail.
Even on your daytime show, which I only call in for a little while once a week.
I know.
And I still get the hate mail. Although I still,
Hey. When you took on that job, you knew the responsibilities. I mean, I recently just a Cruise fan, and it's funny. They whine so bad anymore. Where'd it go? I'm trying to find it. And it's quite funny. It is quite funny that.
Well, honestly, I like that statement. Was that a statement from you, or was that something that somebody tweeted in? When you took on the job, you knew the responsibilities.
I don't remember.
So I didn't know if that was something that just somebody tweeted in. But actually, I think that's one of the best statements. Because how many times have we seen it now in business, in the government, and everything else? Somebody took a job, knowing what the criteria was, and then they start claiming segregation. They start claiming that someone's not making an allowance for them when they knew when they took the job that this was the details of the job.
Well, there was a commercial recently, and it had this woman. She's complaining that this one guy's making more money than her, and it's being filmed in the bathroom as she's just sitting there yipping and yapping. So basically, she's not doing her work and just complaining why the other guy's doing his work and getting paid more. I wonder why. Because he's not goofing off, videoing himself, maybe? Well, actually, we got to hit another break. It's that time again. So give me 4 minutes again, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch the broadcast of the show, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to subscribe to that live stream. If you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. All right, everybody, Crash had to get going. He was at his other job, so he had to get going, and he said wanted to wish everybody a good day and have a great time. He will be back tonight at 8 p.m. right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Southside Mutt Show, hosted by the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash. So we'll be back tonight for what should be a very lively show, because I torqued him up just before getting off the phone. So he's going to be stewing the rest of the day in his office. So we were trying to go on, the 5 reasons written by a Ted Cruz supporter of why we should support Trump. And it goes on that the number one answer is just Hillary Clinton. She is Richard Nixon with breast. And as of today, Trump has the best shot at beating Hillary. And it is absolutely possible. Stop saying it's not. He has either tied or leading in the swing states. The states that need to be won by a Republican. And I'm sorry, Cruz did not do good in those states. Trump did. Trump can win these states. The numbers are showing that. And his numbers are swinging around to his favor for the general election. And number one, it's number 2, but I think it ought to be the number 1. Number 1 reason is if Trump wins, the establishment loses. That is a good thing. I'm tired of the establishment. The establishment has screwed up the party. It has helped screwed up this country. It has bowed down to Obama for the last 7.5 years. I'm tired of it. So would a Trump win, the establishment loses. And if Trump were to lose, then the establishment wins. So some of you people will be happy. Moderates in the media will crow that they told us if Trump loses. We need to get back to nominating moderates who lose the old-fashioned way. And many conservative voters will grudgingly conclude they're right. Consider the alternative. If Trump wins this election, the GOP establishment is finished. He will have proven once and for all that given the chance, voters reject the pro-amnesty, free trade at all cost, sweep social issues under the carpet, leftist narrating accepting, Washington Post only reading, corrupt pay-for-play politics of the party's Washington wing. It will show that if the people stand up together, we can make changes in this country. If we stand up together, we can do away with the corruption that has been plaguing our politics for years. A Trump presidency would be the best antidote for political correctness. Right there says it all. This political correctness, which is nothing more than a way for the left to censor us, to stop us talking subjects that they don't want us talking about. All they scream is political correctness, and it stops the conversation. They are doing away with our freedom of speech by just screaming political correctness. Political correctness is just another way to censor the people without actually saying they're censoring the people. And I mean, why did Trump's support tend to increase with each gaffe, quote-unquote gaffe? Americans instinctively yearned for anyone to challenge, snap, and eventually destroy the left's linguistic fetter that grew tighter every year. Who could possibly do that better than Donald Trump? Cruz was afraid of political correctness. He's a politician. He is ingrained in him to give into political correctness, whereas Donald Trump just does not give a rat's ass about what people think. He says what he thinks. Another good reason, Trump takes the border and the jihadi threat seriously. Whatever you think of Donald Trump's position, including their various incarnations over the course of the campaign, he has taken perhaps the strongest stance in the original 17-person GOP field on immigration. That includes standing up against both illegal aliens pouring across the border as well as what sometimes appears to be Obama's single-minded attempt to import jihadis. His positions, Hillary Clinton will allow more jihadist extremists into this country. She will keep allowing the massive pouring in of illegal aliens. She will give amnesty. She has said it already in the first 100 days. She will grant amnesty to every single illegal alien in the country. People are losing their jobs even with the legal flow. They're allowing so many H-1B1 visas. 14,000 people just got laid off from their job. 14,000 Americans laid off because the influx of H-1B1 visas brought in cheap labor. So they laid off the American people. It just... The established Republicans have not given a shit about immigration. They have not given a shit about the influx of immigrants into this country, whether legal or illegally. They have gone along with the influx. The establishment only cared about their pocket and nothing else. They didn't give a shit about you or me. Trump gives us at least a chance of preserving the Supreme Court and the Constitution. We have up to maybe 4 or 5 Supreme Courts that could be retiring in that time frame. Do you want to leave it into the hands of Hillary Clinton or Trump? I'll take my chances with Trump because we know where Hillary's going to go with it. We know. You think you know which way Trump's going to go. I love that the Colorado Supreme Court has rejected fear-mongering from environmentalists. On May 2nd, an unanimous Colorado Supreme Court decision declared Fort Collins and Longmont limits on fracking invalid and unenforceable because state laws trumps the local ordinance. Several states, including Colorado's neighbor New Mexico and Texas, have faced similar anti-oil and gas initiatives that have also been shot down. The consequences of the decisions are comparatively small, according to the New York Times. As the land now opened up for exploration represents only a fraction of Colorado's oil and gas development, more significant, said experts on both sides of the conflict, is that the rulings shut down future efforts to stop fracking in local jurisdictions. The New York Times points out, spurred by the rise of hydraulic fracking, Colorado has become one of the nation's largest producers of gas and oil. The state has more than 50,000 active oil and gas wells. According to the press release, the Colorado Petroleum Council welcomed the decision for upholding the state's primacy in overseeing oil and natural gas, permitting and curtailing arbitrary bans on fracking that could cost local jobs and deprive state and local government of tax revenues and limit access to energy resources. Again, we're going to go to, do I feel they need to be cautious? Yes. But this environmental crap, I'm getting tired of. I'm not going to go into everything because I've gone over it tooth and nail with everything else. These environmentalists are about the same as global warming, and I'm getting tired of them. How are we supposed to get our electricity and energy when they keep interfering? They complain about high gas costs, but then when they try to pull gas and oil, they complain. These are the same people that want these windmills put up, but then complain when birds fly into them and want the places fined. They will complain about anything and everything. It doesn't matter what you do. They will continue to complain. These people need to get a fucking life and piss off. Now we're going to go on to the Never Trump powders. Yes, the Never Trump powders. The conservatives who have declared war on the primary victor are displaying a myopic that could be deadly in November when Donald Trump will lead Republicans against a party that has divided the country, destroyed its borders, empowered its enemies, and put 93 million Americans into dependency on the state. This reckless disregard for consequences is matched only by a blindness to what has made Trump the presumptive nominee. When he entered the Republican primary a year ago, Trump was given no chance of survival, even the first contest, let alone becoming the Republican nominee. That was the view of all the quote-unquote experts, and especially those experts with the best record of prediction. Trump, who had never been held office and had no experience in any political job, faced a field of 16 tested political leaders, including 9 governors and 5 senators from major states. Most of his political opponents were conservatives. During the primaries, several $100 million were spent in negative campaign ads. Nastier and more personal than in any Republican primary in memory. At least 60,000 of those ads were aimed at Trump, attacking him as a fraud, a corporate predator, a not-so-closed liberal, an ally of Hillary Clinton, indistinguishable from Barack Obama, an ignoramus, and too crass to be president. Well, Bill Clinton, anyone? These negative ads were directed at Republican primary voters, a constituencies well to the right of the party. These primary voters are a constituency that may be said to represent the heart of the conservative movement in America and are generally more politically engaged and informed than most Republican voters. Trump won their support. He won by millions of votes, more votes from this conservative heartland than any Republican in primary history. To describe Trump as ignorant, as so many beltway intellects have, is merely to privilege book knowledge over real-world knowledge. Not an especially wise way to judge political leaders. A chorus of distractors has attempted to dismiss Trump's political victory as representing a mere plurality of primary voters, but how many candidates have won outright majority among a field of 17 or 5 or even 3. When the Republican primary contest was actually reduced to 3, Trump beat the true conservative Ted Cruz with more than 50% of the vote. He did this in blue states and red states, in virtually all precincts and among all Republican demographics. He clinched the nomination by beating Cruz with an outright majority in conservative Indiana. It's every time they said he couldn't do something or he wasn't something, he won with those people. He's won with women. He's won with whites. He's won with blacks. He's won with Puerto Ricans. He's won with the college educated. He's won with those with less education. He has won on all spectrums in all states, in closed primaries, in open primaries, in caucuses. He's won in Republican states. He's run in Democrat states. And he still keeps winning. We'll continue this right after these messages. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough, you stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. I am making sense, or at least trying to, as I bite my damn tongue. Ow! That hurt. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to subscribe to that live stream. And if you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store. We have t-shirts, bumper stickers, the whole works. We even have a I Hate Whales bumper sticker for no other reason than to piss off PETA. So during the break, myself and Kel brought it up, we were talking about there is a meeting tomorrow between Trump and Ryan. Now, I don't think it is going to change anybody's mind. I think Ryan, he is so set on the establishment ways, there's no other way for him to go. He's establishment. He has backed them. He's been a part of them. I think his career is in trouble, and I mean trouble. He's got an unknown that is right there with him in the polls. I haven't looked him up, but from what I've read, this guy is right there with Ryan. Ryan is in a political trouble. And he's stepping down from, I forget what the position is, but it's within a chairman within the convention. And he's willing to step down if Trump wants him to. That right there says that no matter what's said, what's done, he's not going to back Trump. He's aligned with the likes of Romney and them. And he's not going to change his mind. All right, at least I don't think so. He's going along the lines of these never Trump powders. And he has, at first I thought he was a good choice for the job of speaker. But this man has bent over. And it's not even he's making deals and wheeling and dealing and getting things back in return from the Democrats. If you're going to compromise, and that's the way our government should be run, is a compromise between the Republicans and the Democrats. Should be compromise. That means both are giving up things and both are coming out unhappy. Now, so far, every deal I've seen, the Republicans haven't got shit. But the Democrats are getting everything they want. So how is that a compromise? That isn't. How is Ryan doing his job? He isn't. The Republicans are so afraid, for whatever reason, they're afraid to fight the Democrats. Seriously, they have not fought the Democrats on anything in a long time. And what I don't understand is, even with the shutdown of the government, the Democrats were screaming that the Republicans would never win in another election. And they won the election. The people backed them. The people backed the Republicans that fought, or at that point, tried to fight against the Democrat. The people said, we want that. We don't want you bending over. And what have they done since then? Nothing. And they really did nothing with that shutdown either. It didn't accomplish anything. Why do you think so many people are backing Trump? Because the Republican Party has let us down. The same people that are crying foul and crying about Trump are the same ones that we listened to and backed. We tried backing them, and they didn't do diddly. So now we're going our way. We've tried it your way. Now we're going to try it our way. In opposing the clear choice of the Republican primary electorate, the Never Trump crowd is simply displaying their contempt for the most politically active Republican voters. This contempt was dramatically displayed during a CNN segment in which Trump's spokeswoman, Katrina Pearson, and Bill Kristol, the self-appointed guru of the third party movement, whose only result can be to split the Republican ticket and provide Hillary with her best shot at the presidency. Pearson urged Kristol to help unify the party behind a presumptive nominee. Kristol grinned and answered, "You want leaders to become followers." Could there be any more arrogant response? Because not a single one of these fuckers have led. They have followed the Democrat Party. They have bent over for the Democrat Party. They become the bitch of the Democrat Party. And Bill Kristol is helped leading that charge. Bill Kristol is out to destroy and help the Democrats destroy this country. Bill Kristol is one of the enemies. This Never Trump movement is turning into the enemy of this country. They are going along with the damn Democrats. And you know what? At this point, they really can't do much because they've missed one of the biggest deadlines was the Texas deadline for an independent voter, independent candidate. Well, they didn't apply to Texas in time. So if they do apply to any other states and try to run a third party in any other states, it is clear cut that Bill Kristol and his group of Never Trumps are not out to win an election. They're out to destroy the country. This man does not have the majority backing. Trump has the majority backing. The numbers show it. I don't think, no, he's got the plurality. Fuck you. He's got the majority. Because I'm getting tired of these idiots also not understanding majority does have several meanings. People like Bill Kristol are not out for the betterment of the country. Dana Loesch is not out for the betterment of the country. Glenn Beck is not out for the betterment of the country. Ted Cruz is out for himself. And he has shown it time and time again lately. And yes, I am bashing Cruz. And yes, I was a Ted Cruz supporter at one time. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people that were Ted Cruz, but started to see who he really was. He is not this champion the people think he is. And it just... Bill Kristol. What's funny is, by what authority does Bill Kristol, I keep saying Kristol, regard himself as a leader? Trump has the confidence of millions of highly committed and generally conservative Republican voters. That makes him a leader. Who does Bill Kristol lead except a small group of inside the Beltway foreign policy interventionists who supported the fiasco in Libya that opened the door to Al-Qaeda and ISIS? The person that was writing this article has written 3 books supporting the intervention in Iraq and who thinks Trump is dead wrong on this issue. I don't agree with Trump on the issue of Iraq. I agree with going in Iraq. I disagree with Trump on that. But doesn't mean just because I don't agree with 1 or 2 points does not mean that you shouldn't back Trump. If you're agreeing blindly 100%, there's an issue there. There is issues at that point. I don't agree with everything Trump says, but his ideas are coming for the best of the country, not what's best for the political party or what's best for their own pockets. The Bush administration never fought and tried to defend the war the Democrats helped sabotage, according to its critic, to turn it into a bad war in the eyes of the American people. Consequently, Trump's attack on the intervention is a small political move that will allow him to win over many Democrat and independents and even conservative voters who think Iraq was a mistake and do not appreciate the necessities of that war or the tragedy of the Democrats' opposition to it. You can't reverse historical judgments in election year sound bites. Understand this, instinctively or otherwise, makes Trump politically smarter than his Washington distractors. So-called conservatives like Crystal claim to oppose Trump on principles, but then turn to Mitt Romney for a third-party run. This is the same Mitt Romney who, as a governor of Massachusetts, was the father of Obamacare, but ran against Obamacare in 2012. So much for principles from that group. True conservatives claim the Constitution as their Bible. But as everybody knows, the first principle of that document is that the people are sovereign. The people's voice expressed by the ballot box determines who leads. The never-Trump conservatives don't respect this principle. What other conclusion can be drawn from their arrogant repudiation of a candidate whose authority derives from the expressed will of the people? The never-Trump elites claim the voters are fools because Trump is utterly unfit to be president by temperament, values, and policy preference. This is the phrase used by Elliot A. Cohen, a former Defense State Department official in the Bush 41 and 43 administration. It is a sentiment common to most anti-Trump commentators. But what can it possibly mean? During the first Republic debate in front of a televised audience of 17 million people, Jeb Bush took a pledge saying he would support whoever eventually won the Republican primary. But as soon as the winner was declared, Bush reneged on his promise. Is telling the truth a political value, or do the anti-Trumpers make allowance for politicians they support, cutting them slack that permits them to lie or change their mind when it is convenient to do so? We have several of these politicians that are backing out on their pledge. They stood up in front of a television camera and swore that they would back whoever was the nominee. They forced all the candidates to sign the pledge. And now, because a couple of them are throwing a fit because it's not them or their buddy, they're not going to go on with their pledge? Do you really want that person as a political leader who can't even keep a promise such as that? How bad would they screw us over as the American people? They would screw us over in a heartbeat if they can't keep a simple pledge like that. The anti-Trump crowd seems most concerned about the personal insults that Trump used successfully to defeat his formidable and most experienced rivals. Perhaps they are forgetting the $100 million worth of personal insults and attack that were directed at Marco Rubio and Trump by Bush's pack, which the candidate himself never disagreed with. Is it their view that what is presidential is to have a surrogate do your dirty work while pretending to be innocent of the deed? I don't hear anybody complaining about Jeb Bush's attacks. And he went personal. Trump has attempted to repair most of the insults he delivered by praising Cruz and Rubio and explaining that he was harsh on Bush because it was a competition and harsh things were being said about him in 60,000 negative ads. Moreover, he would consider some of the rivals he had previously bruised to be his running mate. Trump has shown a magnet. This just pisses me off. It was a battle. They went at him just as hard as he returned fire. But they're going to act like little children and run because they got their feelings hurt. It doesn't matter that Jeb Bush's PAC spent over $100 million attacking Trump, personally attacking Trump. That's fine. But the Never Cruise group sit there and bash Trump because he returned fire. He attacked right back. This is a double standard, and it's sick. And I'm tired of the hypocrisy of these people. It's absolutely disgusting. And if that is what it means to be a Republican, if that's what it means to be conservative, fucking count me out. This Never Trump are nothing but a whiny bunch of little bitches that want to cry because their candidate didn't make the cut. The majority of the people in this country did not take Cruz. They did not want Bush. I know what we do want. We want a commercial break. We'll be right back right after this message. And you're listening on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, making sense out of the senseless. Remember, the Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to be part of the conversation, go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room button, join the conversation. You can always have great conversations with me and Kel, and let's get a good conversation going in there. Even if you are pro-cruise and you want to talk to me about it, jump in there. Let's have a conversation. I am glad to talk. I don't want to go into the insults and so forth that have gone on, but jump into the chat room, join the conversation, be a part of the show. Now, if you want to watch the broadcast, go to Reaver.1, click on the live stream, and don't forget to subscribe to that live stream. And lastly, if you want to support the show and you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.1, click on the Reaver store, pick yourself up a t-shirt or a coffee mug, bumper stickers. The other big announcement I want to make, starting tomorrow through Saturday, May 14th, join SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio from the Texas State GOP Convention. You can follow the convention up to the minute with live streams, Periscope, Twitter, and Facebook, and more. They will be calling in. They will be calling into the show live here and there. I don't know how often or how long, but they're supposed to be calling in the next 2 days, and we will have the exceptional conservative Ken McClinton calling in, Editor-in-Chief, High Plains Pundit Radio, Dan Butcher, the Underground Professor, Dr. Michael Jones, and Sackhead Radio co-host, Sackhead Sean Lewis. So they're going to be reporting from the convention for the next several days. Hey, and I got to respond. Yeah. See, Sean is getting ready to... He's flying out right now, getting ready to fly out. He's at the airport, and he's getting ready to head down to Texas for the convention. And I told him, I made the comment about, I hate flying. And he said he's gotten better. He normally would have to get pretty hammered to get on the plane. You have to give me probably like at least 2 Xanax to get me on a plane. I think I talked about it yesterday. I had a bad experience, and it's still with me till this day. That bad experience is still with me. And I've gotten better, but I still get a little fearful getting on a plane. But over the next 2 days, we're going to be getting live reports from the floor of the convention. And I look forward to hearing from these guys. So let's get back on with the show, the last bit of it. I'm doing a little bit of rambling, I know that. It's getting towards the end of the show. I'm a little tired. I got doctor's appointments after this, and I'm not looking forward to that. But I got a question. What is it about the policy preference that allegedly disqualifies Trump? How is Trump disqualified for running for president? He's a U.S. citizen, is he not? He's been living in the country for how many years now? He's over the age of 35, so he is qualified. I'm getting tired of people thinking you have to have a political background to run for president. You're not supposed to, there's not supposed to be this elitist group that run the country. It is supposed to be the common man. People have forgotten what this country is about. This is not about an elitist class running us. That is why we separated from England. We were tired of stuff like that. He's getting knocked because he is sick. And it's not the majority. The majority are voting him in. The majority are saying they're tired of the illegal immigrants coming into this country, that they're flooding by the millions across our border. Our government has done nothing over the years to stop it. This has been a problem for years. We've heard our politicians run for government on those issues, but never do a thing about it. Why? Because it's something that they can talk about and blame the other party about during their elections. But if we fix the problem, if we start fixing the issues, how are they going to get reelected? That's what it comes down to. And I think we got Trump, who doesn't give a shit about reelection. He cares about fixing the problems. And I think if you have a politician that fixes the problems, they will get reelected. They're trying to knock down Trump, saying he's a racist. But you know what? Tell me one thing that he said that makes him a racist. And not a single person can answer. He said derogatory comments. Well, we're not getting the best of the best coming over the border. We're not. We're getting criminals coming across the border. And you know why they're criminals? Because they're breaking our laws. They are entering the country illegally. That makes them a criminal to start with. So if you're willing to break the laws, you're not the best of the best. Because the ones that come here legally, that go through the process, those are the ones I want. I don't want criminals. And again, if you're coming across our borders illegally, you are a criminal. You are breaking the laws. Our laws are some of the weakest as it is. So don't bash us. And don't sit there and say by putting up a wall it makes us racist, because then Mexico is racist because they put up a wall to their south to protect their borders. Many countries do. In fact, Obama is trying to help several African nations put up a wall to protect their borders. Now, it's understandable that the Democrats are hell-bent on sabotaging our border and should twist his words and make him sound like an anti-Mexican native. That's what Democrats do. But it's disgraceful when Republicans echo them. And that's what's really scary. These never-Trumps are repeating Obama's words. They are backing Obama's comments. Right there, that should tell you something's wrong when these never-Trumps are agreeing with Obama. Shouldn't that make people question the motives? And if you are a never-Trump, shouldn't that make you question that you're agreeing with Obama and the Democrats? So either you never really had conservative values. I'm getting tired of hearing it. I'm a constitutional conservative, but let's see if I want Hillary to get in. You're not a constitutional conservative if you say you want Hillary to get in. You have turned your back on everything that is right in this country. You've turned your backs on 4 dead Americans. You're not a constitutional conservative if you say you'd rather have Hillary or Obama, and I have, yes, seen people say that. You're not a conservative. Because let me tell you, if that's being conservative, count me out. I don't need to be considered anything. I know what I am. I know what my values are. I don't need to be a part of a party to feel like I'm worth something. I've been an independent for a while. I can go back to being an independent. So if you want to destroy this country and you think that's conservative, you think it's better to have illegal immigrants coming into this country? You think it's better to be flooding our streets with ISIS? You think that's better than voting for Trump? You're not even a constitutional conservative, and I question about your worth to America at that point. I find it disgusting, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of keeping my mouth shut while these supposed conservatives destroy this country. Trump cannot do worse than what Hillary would do because we know what Hillary's policies are. Her own party isn't even backing her again. But you constitutional conservatives want to back her. I promised Chris Parantu I'd have his back. And I will not do anything to help that woman. After what she did to our men, after she turned her back on our men to die, and you want to say you would rather see her than Trump? Well, with friends like you, who needs enemies? And with that comes the end of the show. And I want to leave that thought with everybody. Just think of the alternative to Trump is Hillary. Hillary is directly responsible for the deaths in Benghazi. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.